Would you believe me if I told you that there were once men who turned their own bodies into eternal Buddha statues? Not by the hands of embalmers, not through mystical sorcery, but by their own will, through years of eating, drinking, breathing, and meditating until their flesh itself became a sacred relic. This is not a legend. It is a historical practice that existed in Japan. It is called Sokushinbutsu, the living Buddha. The practice of Sokushinbutsu emerged within Shingon Buddhism, introduced to Japan in the 9th century by the monk Kukai, known as Kobo Daishi. Shingon emphasized that the body and mind were not obstacles, but pathways to enlightenment. In the snowy mountains of northern Japan, particularly in Yamagata, monks took this teaching to its extreme conclusion. They believed that through absolute self-denial, purification, and discipline, the body itself could transcend decay. Death would no longer mean dissolution. It would mean transformation into a Buddha in the flesh. Thus began one of the most extraordinary and terrifying ascetic practices in religious history: self-mummification. To become a Sokushinbutsu, a monk had to endure a journey lasting nearly a decade. It unfolded in brutal stages. 1. The first 1,000 days. The monk survived only on nuts, seeds, berries, and roots gathered from the forest. No rice, no grains, no luxury of cooked meals. The purpose? To strip away body fat, the part of the body most prone to rot after death. 2. The second 1,000 days. The diet became even harsher, limited to pine needles, tree bark, and dried roots. The monk began drinking tea made from the sap of the urushi tree, the same resin used to lacquer wood. This poisonous substance slowly built up in the body, killing parasites and making the corpse unappealing to insects. The final stage: entering the tomb alive. Now emaciated, nothing more than skin and bone, the monk was sealed inside a stone chamber barely large enough to sit in the lotus posture. A small breathing tube allowed air to pass. Each day, he would ring a tiny bell to signal he was still alive. When the bell stopped ringing, disciples removed the tube and sealed the chamber completely. 1,000 days later, the tomb was opened. If the body remained preserved, no decay, no collapse, then the monk was declared a Sokushinbutsu, a living Buddha. But why would anyone willingly choose such a slow, excruciating death? For the Shingon monks, this was the highest act of compassion and devotion. By enduring unimaginable suffering, they believed they could attain enlightenment, not only for themselves, but for all beings. Their incorrupt bodies became proof of spiritual victory, visible reminders that human flesh, when dedicated entirely to the Dharma, could transcend mortality. Even today, some of these monks remain enshrined in temples in Yamagata. Their faces are serene, their posture unbroken, as if still meditating centuries after death. Not every monk succeeded. Many attempted the practice but left behind nothing more than bones or decayed remains. Only a small number, perhaps 24, are known to have successfully become Sokushinbutsu. By the late 19th century, the Japanese government under Emperor Meiji outlawed the practice, calling it a form of suicide. Yet in the local communities, Sokushinbutsu continued to be venerated, not merely as corpses but as holy beings, protectors of the land, guiding spirits for the people. This devotion also connected with Shugendo, the mountain ascetic tradition blending Buddhism, Shinto, and folk belief, which saw extreme austerity as the path to divine power. Imagine walking into a dimly lit temple. You see what looks like an ancient statue, draped in faded robes, seated in lotus posture. You step closer, and then you realize this is not a sculpture. It is a monk, a real human body, preserved by his own will, still sitting in meditation after hundreds of years. In that moment, the boundary between life and death, between human and divine, feels paper thin. The story of Sokushinbutsu is not just one of horror, it is also one of meaning. It raises questions that challenge us today. How far can human beings go for their beliefs? Is enlightenment a flight from the body, or the ultimate embrace of it? In our modern age, when comfort and convenience rule our lives, what would it mean to live or die for a higher ideal? Some may see Sokushinbutsu as an act of extremism. Others see it as a testament to unshakable faith. Either way, the living Buddhas remain one of the most haunting symbols in religious history. If this story gave you chills or left you wondering about the mysteries of faith and sacrifice, then hit that like button so I'll know you want more journeys into the world's strangest spiritual traditions. And don't forget to subscribe, because in the next story, we'll uncover more rituals where the line between the sacred and the terrifying is only one breath away.